that last lady, I said, I got it the house now. I told her, well, she said, no, she said, said, that's my job. Said, I got the tape. I told you a movie ticket. I forget what it was, but it was something that you had to present. And she said, let me go ask, she didn't say boss, but she said, I'm going to go ask somebody. I said, I understand. I said, I just want it, I just want to keep it as a souvenir. So while we was eating, she come and brought it back. She said, whoever she talked to said, let him have it. But now, 2 times, I got to eat with the big boys that supported the University of Alabama.
Oh.
You ain't never seen much food in your life, baby. Man.
Living like kings, huh?
Huh?
Living like kings,
Shoot. But they just couldn't get over it. He asked me coming home or doing that. I said, how did you work up a conversation? I said, Dad, I told you that Daddy never meets a stranger. Now I've tried to talk to some people that won't talk. If they'll talk, I'm going to talk to them. And I wouldn't have took nothing for it. I enjoyed talking to him because he was a big, he was a big Alabama, you know. And he also told me, I didn't know it, in this same hotel, the Alabama players, on the day of the game, when they're going to play a home game, they reserve a section at that hotel. And that's where the Alabama players eat at.
Huh.
And then, when it's time for them to go to the stadium, which is about 2 miles from this hotel, they walk through the lobby of the hotel out to the buses. And that fellow told me, he said, would you like to meet some of the players? I said, you done too much for me. So there I said, go with him, Daddy. So what he done is he took me out there and I'm gonna call it the driveway. You know what I'm talking about? Inside a big hotel, you know, there's a walking area. And the first man out was Shooter. He was the coach at that time. I helped my hand out, he shook my hand. And I recognized 2 of the football players from living on TV. And that was the 2 that I wanted to shake hands with, that I don't trouble. Now, the next year, guess who the coach was? Now Mike Schuler was real friendly. He was the first man, and he had no policeman, nothing with it. They were 2. I figured it was assistant coaches. I don't know. The next year they went down there.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. That bully ain't batted an eye. He had a state trooper with him.
Mr. Big Shot, huh?
Now Mike Shooter, the only thing I said about Mike Shooter, I ain't lying to you, sir. I couldn't believe He looked like he didn't weigh 150 pounds. Looked like he was about 18 years old.
Huh.
But he was just as nice and friendly. So I got my heart delight. I spent 2 hours at Bob Brown Museum. Then I eat with the boosters. Then I got to shake hands with the football player I want to shake hands with. And Mike Shula just volunteered. Now the football player didn't volunteer. But I shook my hand out to him and told him, I said, I recognize who you was. They never quit walking. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But they did shake my hand. But I recognized him, you know, from watching the Alabama game. But Nate Saban, he ain't cut an eye.
Arrogant ass.
All right, I've talked enough. I'm like Mama, don't get started.